How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about BBIG. On the Friday, it ended up seeing a high of $3.17, and we ended up testing support right at the $3. So I was talking about that last week. We wanted to see $3 hold. It did exactly that. So now that we're going to be going into a new week, I want to make sure you guys are prepared going into Monday. So I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is a technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and as well as in the bullish case scenario. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why this is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the retail side and as well as on the institutional side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for BBIG. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $3.17, being up 3.93%. On the low, it tested $3, and then on the high, testing $3.17. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 23.782 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 39.843 million shares. So we did have below average volume on the day, but we still ended up seeing a lot of strength in the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it still remains to be in the middle at 49.63. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 100-day, the 200-day. We're also below the 21-day EMA, but we are using the 50-day as support. We wanted to see BBIG hold up the $3 level at the minimum. It was able to do that, and then we ended up seeing a high at the day at $3.17. You can see the 21-day EMA is at $3.20. So going into tomorrow, if we see strength inside of this stock, I want to see us testing this level right here around $3.33. Upon pushing through this level, I'd want to see us make that move and get past this resistance right here around 360. This has been a difficult area for us, but I feel if we can break out of this area and get to 390, things start looking really good for BBIG. That is something that we want to look forward to see happening. Now, if it decides to show weakness and break through that $3 level, then the next level you're going to want to see hold up is around 290. And if we pull back even further, we'll start going into the 280s and so forth, 270s, and you can see we pull back as far going into the 250s. And that is why I'm emphasizing the fact for this week that we need to get to that 360 level or above so we can get that breakout we're looking for. If we continue to get rejected, this is where I can see some downside pressure on the stock. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for BBIG. So green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So when we take a look at the filings for February the 4th, we have Arizona State Retirement System that purchased 25,924 shares. And then when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 40.51%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is just over 5.87 million shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 300,000, updated 14 minutes ago, and then for the short borrow fee rate, it is at 163.11%, so that continues to be high. And then when we take a look at the history of the short volume, we can see for the close of February the 3rd, it's at 47.46, and then for the close of February the 4th, so the Friday that just passed, being at 40.51. So one thing that remains clear, BBIG does continue to have short squeeze potential, and is part of the reasons why we'll be seeing continued volatility in the stock. So now let's move on to the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for BBIG. So we see here on the inflow, it was at 16.61, and then on the outflow, it's at 12.79. So it was an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown on the large, it was 1.37. On the medium, it was 11.82. And then on the small, it was 3.42. And then on the outflow side, you can see on the large, it was 0.85. On the medium, it was 9.74. And then on the small, it was 2.20. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you can see for the Friday that passed, we ended up having that inflow of 525.37. And keep in mind, that's in the thousands. And then when we analyze the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large, which represents whales, institutions, and funds, of course, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the turnover ratio, it was at 17.35%. So again, for a stock like BBIG, considering how volatile it has been and how high that turnover ratio has been in the past, we've seen it being as high as 400, 200, 300, and so on. This is a big time improvement. So going into this coming week, if we see this number continue to go down, this is telling us there are many who are still holding on to their positions and the shares aren't as liquid. But I see the volatility continuing. That's just my personal opinion. So this is why you want to make sure it's respecting those support levels and it's making that move what we are looking for. I'll talk about that inside of the final thoughts, so let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for BBIG, in regards to the price action, this is very important because you want to have a strategy. We have seen that it's been able to hold up the $3 level fairly well. But the move that we need to look for this coming week, it needs to test around $3.50 and as well as $3.60. $3.50, $3.60. If we can get above $3.60, that's where we want to see that move to $3.90 and then essentially getting to that $4 level. Getting at above $4.15 to be exact, so it could put us right around that 200-day. We want price action above the 200-day, not below the 200-day. Because what does that mean? Price action below the 200-day means that it's looking bearish. If we end up seeing some weakness or we end up having a pullback, then of course you want to see how well it could hold up around 290. If 290 ends up breaking, this is where we can see 280s and as well as 250s. Again, that is the downside there. But I am going to remain bullish. And if we have strength inside of the market, plus on top of that, the demand continues for BBIG shares, I want to see us test above 360. I feel this is very possible, especially if we see strength inside of the market. So if you are going to be jumping into this play, pay attention to that. Do your homework, do your due diligence, and look for the entry that'll be right for you. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it does continue to have short squeeze potential. Plus, on top of that, taking a look at that short borrow fee being well over 160%, that is crazy. So what that means is anyone who is shorting this stock is paying a hefty fee. They're not trying to hold those shares for too long. So this is why I'm saying buying volume is very essential, because the moment we get through those price levels like I was speaking about to the upside, that's where you could see more buying coming in, a lot of FOMO, and we could get past that $4 level. So keep an eye on this play. It is very important that you do so. You just don't buy shares and you forget about it. At the end of the day, it is very volatile. Many people are looking to be taking their profits. You have to understand the conditions that we're in. There's a lot of fears around interest rates, uncertainty around the economy. So you have to have a game plan so you can protect yourself. Because the last thing that I want to see is that you're up big in a play and then all of a sudden you're like red and you're nervous and you're concerned and then you're dropping those comments at below my video saying, Dre, when do you see the stock going to 5? When do you see it going to 6, Brad? I need to get out. Again, I don't want to see that happening. Know your entry. Know your exit, do your homework, do your due diligence, and please don't be led with all the FUD out there. A lot of people are going to be, yeah, this stock is going to the moon. It's going to $20. It's going to 30. Again, don't get confused with that. If you end up being up 100%, that's where I'll start saying, well, you know what? In regards to risk management, you want to make sure that you protect at least your initial investment. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I can't wait to see how this stock performs going into tomorrow.